welcome to the final viewing. We're going to be talking about or doing a quick review of the movie Malignant. And this movie did come out a few weeks ago. And like always, we are late on our reviews and trying to get the scraps of
I mean, it didn't come out that long ago. We caught it pretty close to its, release date. So there's that.
No, we saw it on like close to the release date. I'm just saying, like, doing the review as we always are. We're like late. We should have done it either that same day, same weekend, whatever the fuck. But we're always late, so that's all right. That's okay. So we actually went to the movies to go watch *Malignant*, and going into this movie, I was under the impression, mind you, Roland, it was your idea more to watch this movie.
Yeah,
you kind of like had an idea to watch
by
this.
the trailers. I fell under the fucking curse trap or whatever of fucking movies putting all the good shit in the commercials and just that's it.
That's odd that you say that because I had the opposite effect.
I mean, there was one or two scenes.
I thought it was going to be boring.
So when I first saw it, I was afraid that it was going to be some psychological bullshit. And then I saw a few of the little tricks that they pulled. And I was like, oh, cool. Maybe there's going to be a thing. And I was sort of right. There was kind of a thing. But then it was also kind of psychological too. So.
Right. At this point,
got the worst of both.
And if you don't know anything about this movie was written and directed by James Wan. And by this point, James Wan has kind of disappointed me in anything that he's associated with, like anything that he was actually involved with. Like the first two Conjurings, Insidious, Insidious 2, some other movies that are blanking in my head. But
was that the one, the lady? Or is it Llorona? I forgot. The Nun?
La Llorona, I did not like that movie. The Nun, I fucking hated that movie. Insidious 3 and 4, again, I'm not sure if James Wan was really involved too much in those movies. Maybe he was just producing. Hated those movies also. The one I had just
You did mention Annabelle, right?
I did like Annabelle Creation, not Annabelle... the original one, or whatever the fuck. I couldn't fucking stand that shit.
Uh-huh.
And the most recent one, which I was going to do a review on, Solo, but I literally did not have the interest. I was just going to be bashing the whole movie the whole time. So I figured, and may have been like three fucking minute video, which I probably should have done anyways, but it was The Conjuring 3. I fucking hated that movie. I was so bored out of my fucking mind. By this point, I've had it with Ed and Lorraine Warren. I know a lot about Ed and Lorraine Warren. I've been following them for years. And I mean, I know they're kind of like hacking shit like that. But this fake version of Ed and Lorraine Warren on screen where they have this like magical marriage and shit like that. Oh, it fucking bothered the shit out of me. I was so mad. I was like, this is such horseshit. Like, fuck these two, all right? Now the actors, they do a great job. Don't get me wrong. But the real Ed and Lorraine Warren, if they were this much in love, like, give me a fucking break, all right? That one scene, the thing is that one scene where the hand pulls her down off the cliff and he's kind of looking at her like Lorraine, he's like, Ed, like, give me the fucking break. Like, stop that shit already. Like, the case itself, I felt like they were grasping at straws. Like, this was, probably like the smallest amount of like this devil made me do it horse shit for this case. Like, I was like, I had it already. I was like, fuck this movie. I saw it twice because I was like, was it really that bad? And yeah, it was. I didn't like it at all. So I went into Malignant with this attitude already, like just gonna be bored. Yeah. So I went in a little.
And you were pleasantly chubbed by so much irony, so much obvious can't be anything other than parody irony.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Let me just say this.
Fucking movie.
Let me just say this, all right? And I said this to you in the theater. I remember it specifically. The movie started off and it had that tracking effect on the very image, like the production. And I was like, frowned my brow. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there tracking? That's very 80s for them to do, right? And then you get a glimpse of the hospital. I go, get the fuck out of here with this hospital. It's giant. It's huge. It's overlooking a cliff. It looks all ominous and shit. And I was like, the fuck? Immediately cut to the hospital scene. They're all kind of a very tense situation. Like the dialogue is like just fucking dumb, you know? And I'm like, nah.
Yes, it was.
I was like, no. I was like, this can't be the movie I'm thinking. I go, what am I watching right now? Because this is not the movie I came in expecting. The minute that first 5 minutes where the doctor fucking says, and I got a huge laugh out of this one, and I think you did too, when he says he's broadcasting his thoughts to the radio or some shit like that. I was like, the fuck? And then I saw the little creature behind the hazy plastic. And then the music cuts and jumps in, and it's like this real like trippy 90s, 80s kind of blend of shit. I told you, I turned to you, and I said, I think I fucking love this movie already. All right. Now, mind you, the movie could have disappointed me completely from that point on. But
that's the point that I knew this movie was going to be dog shit. I was like, oh, fuck me. Ray's enjoying this.
You say dog shit. I saw a movie that was all just parody, and I go, this movie is just like those fucking movies by like Brain Damage, Society. I go, I've seen all these movies already.
This is like Dawn of the Beast. What are you talking about? It even has a fight scene just like that shit.
No. This was intentional. And again, this was intentional. Yeah. Dawn of the Beast seems, all right, in tone.
It was a serious attempt.
It seems like it was a serious attempt. But then, of course, you get, the whole movie seemed like a very serious attempt to tell like a certain type of ominous tale. But the thing, you get the fucking rave between the Wendigo and Bigfoot. I'm like, and we said this before. This is what the movie should have been the whole time. This tone, whatever the fuck this is, it should have been that.
Oh.
But I feel like they didn't get that the whole movie. You know, I feel like they missed out on an opportunity with that movie. Like they could have been like really ridiculous intentionally. But then you get like those scenes at the very end where he's
Ray.
The movie should have been the movie should have been over like a million times, but it kept on going.
The fight scene in the fucking police station, all right, was the most. It was a 360-degree camera fight scene. This was some Matrix bullshit, Ray.
Yeah, exactly.
This motherfucker.
That is one of the reasons I fucking love this movie. This movie just fucking came out like
those cops got their asses kicked.
Yes,
hard.
And I applaud that scene very much.
I do
because
too.
that scene prior. When she's in the jail cell and you see every stereotypical character in that fucking jail cell.
Oh, you mean all the like the criminals or whatever?
Right, all the women criminals and shit. Yeah. You have like the one with the fro, the hippies. You have all those fucking people in there.
The over the hill biker chick or whatever. Yeah. The whole like, what are you looking at?
Right, and she fucking annihilates all of them.
Yeah,
and they're in this huge jail cell, and you see the fucking again, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. Fucking the head,
creature,
the head come out of the fucking back of her head and shit like that. Yeah, and you realize that she's the one killing all these people, and there's a creature inside her fucking head. I was like, Roland, I was laughing the whole time. I had a smile on my face the whole fucking time. I wanted to stand up and cheer when I saw all this shit. I was like, finally. A movie on the big screen that I can only see on the back of a goddamn VHS, a fucking video rental place, like right next to like fucking Evil Dead 2 and shit. You kind of see this movie kind of sitting there, but this movie was on the big screen, and I was so happy to see it on the screen. I was ecstatic.
I mean, like if you look at it for those things, then yes, it was a pretty amusing, entertaining movie. If you go in there trying to expect something similar to what you saw in the trailer, you're not going to get any of that. This movie, this movie has like bits and pieces of so many different kinds of genres that it's just like, all right,
absolutely,
whatever. You know,
you're getting a fucking like a psychological thriller. You're getting a fucking body horror movie.
You're right. Yeah, you got the suspense. You've got the suspense.
Then you have fucking action martial arts movie.
Yeah, Jesus.
How did this fucking creature know these martial arts? Yeah, it's a crime drama. And on top of that, it's somewhat like a subtle you have those the dynamics between the detectives and shit.
Oh, you
That
mean
was-
it's like a Z grade fucking Law and Order episode or something?
And you had that kind of like,
Yeah.
will they or won't they between the forensic
Is it,
girl and the detective.
what did
You know,
they
that was-
say?
it was just fucking
They
ridiculous.
found no signs of entry, and domestic issues were noted. Looks like we found a motive. You know, like
Yeah, but she didn't even say that. She has the
Motive.
fucking lollipop in her mouth, and she goes, "We think we found it." And
fucking
it's like,
dumb. What was the name of the
Motive.
detective
Like,
dude?
it's
He had
so
such a fucking silly ass name.
Yeah,
Was what?
it was like cacao or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah,
Like,
that's right.
all right. It was like cacao, but they like called him like K and shit like that. It was like Detective
Yeah.
Cacao, and I remember you fucking
'cause he
laughing
had
like
it's-
cacao.
Oh fuck! What the fuck was his name? Hold on, I need to. Yeah, I'm about to do that because his
It was-
name
I think it was
fucking like
Cacao. You
I
can
heard
look
it
it
and I
up
was
on
like,
your phone or
oh, this
whatever.
is a joke. This isn't a serious movie. Like you can't do this to me.
Exactly. This was not
I
a
know,
serious
but I
movie
mean,
by any means.
Again, like I was going in there expecting some like crazy, interesting horror, and like it just kind of, I mean,
Look.
Yeah,
If you're
you're gonna
going
be
into
disappointed.
this movie like you said, expecting something else from the trailer, again, I had pretty low expectations, but I mean, I went into this movie completely low expectations, expecting to be disappointed, but then that turned the corner when I was like, this movie is
Yeah.
not what I expected.
Yeah.
This movie was so much fun for me. I think for me personally. And again, like we're doing for the month of October,
Yeah.
we're watching all these like campy ass fucking horror comedies. This is exactly what this is. So it's right up, personally, it's right up my alley. So that's why I would like it. I can see why many people don't like it, especially if you're going, because a lot of people don't like horror comedies.
oh, the guy's name was Kikoa Shaw.
Kakoa, there you go. There
Kikoa,
you go.
Kikoa. Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
say that?
In fact, you fucking did that shit in the theater. Thankfully, there was like 2 people in front of us and like 3 people up in the very top. There was nobody in the fucking theater.
Fuck him.
But I will say we were the ones laughing.
Yeah,
the
nobody
loudest.
was laughing in that theater but us.
Yeah.
Which not that would have given a shit anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, at some point I was laughing just because I was assuming something funny was gonna happen. I was like covering my mouth, trying to like hold back the laughter. But
I mean, like I was laughing at everything. Like there were just it was so cheesy. You know, like the dialogue between the sister and Kikoa when they start getting like interested in each other.
Yeah.
You know, like again the dialogue between the 2 detectives. Even at the end or whatever, when the sister saves the other sister, saying like, "Oh no, you can't lift this. This bed is too heavy." Well, if so and so can do it, then I can do it. And she flips it or whatever, and
I believe she's like,
stupid.
It was my body, so I can do it. And she does it. And they have like that heartwarming ending.
Yeah.
You're like, but she just fucking murdered like all these fucking
That's
people.
right. They hug and it's over. And it's like, what about all the dead cops? I'm like, you know what? Nope.
Yeah, leave it.
Tied up nicely. What are you talking about? No loose ends. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I guess one of the things that also gave it away, again, from like the dialogue and the fucking acting and all that kind of stuff, were a lot of the camera movements. You know, like they would get like whenever they try to be dramatic, they would close up on like the person and then cut to the next scene. I go, you don't. If you're trying to build some kind of tension, you don't do shit like that.
The camera shots were very elaborate. I guess
I would say like elaborate and
overdone, deliberate. Well,
they were deliberate. Like
there's no way that you know what? Like I told you about this before, because I mean you were right. Like there's no way that none of this shit wasn't deliberate. I didn't want to say that because I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, or I don't want to give them the benefit of saying that kind of thing, because this was so annoying to me to go and to see. I mean, looking back, I'm more amused than anything, but still, like, kind of. I don't want to give him the credit, Ray. God damn it! I know.
I don't deserve it. And I was kind of like fighting you on that.
Fuck them. They don't deserve it.
Can we agree though that the soundtrack is really badass in this movie? Like, I love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I want this soundtrack on vinyl or able to listen to it because, I mean, I'm not going to say it's like the best thing ever, but I have a good experience attached to that soundtrack, so I would want to hear it because it just seems fun, you know.
I want to see the track that they use for the fight scene in the police station.
Right? Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to exercise to that fucking track.
Right, and you know, Roland, we did see a movie that kind of had this deliberate way of filmmaking and the story itself, where it was ridiculous, but it was also very good, and that was Psycho Gorman. You know, like there's some times where it's like we said, like Dawn of the Beast kind of failed a bit on the delivery and the tone that maybe they were trying to get across, because I
there
didn't
was a
feel like
lot of potential, so much potential in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there still is.
And
Maybe
like,
they'll make something else later down the line.
I felt like Psycho Gorman succeeded in that, and I feel like
It did, and
Malignant
that's
succeeded
and
in
you
that.
know what? The funny thing about Psycho Gorman is that I liked it. I was still a little disappointed by it, but it was still like actually very good in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of it had a lot of good things going for it, and so does this movie. It's just it doesn't brand itself for like it's so weird. Like
No, it
like
doesn't.
watching this,
Right.
you get a lot of different like I guess like perspective or feelings or whatever from this thing, trying to like figure out where the fuck the pacing's going or like where the story's going or where anything is.
It almost seemed to me like as they're, I mean, I don't know how planned out this movie was, but like they took the concept, like I want to do this kind of thing, and they kind of just by the seat of their pants went on as the story went on. Like for instance, you get that whole fucking fight scene in the fucking jail or the police station. And this movie went from like a psychological horror, body horror movie, very violent.
Yeah, to like a fucking
going into like a
wire fu Hong Kong action fucking flick.
This character knows all the latest martial arts.
Fucking Wu-Tang Clan and shit over here.
Has super strength. Yeah, and it goes to like one of those like Asian movies. They're like fucking like doing a parkour all over the fucking place. Like, and if you're just assuming like this movie's doesn't know where it's going, like you're gonna get disappointed, right? But if you're just like in on the joke, and that's what I feel like this movie is, like you just have to be in on the joke.
Yeah,
for this movie.
That makes sense. I mean, you just see it as one big, really, really bad movie, then yes, it is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, not meant to be taken seriously at all. Yeah, man. I mean, the acting, like I said, was. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it was good. It was just deliberately bad. I mean, unless they get like bad actors so they could be bad. But I don't know if that's the case. I haven't seen any of these other people in any other movies, so that's just. So I have no idea. Yeah, man. What is your overall rating of Malignant? Remember, we're just doing a 1 out of 5. This is just a general review.
Shit. I mean, movie rating, I'll give it like a 2. Comedy rating, I'll give it a 3. Because I have to make that distinction or whatever. Like, I didn't watch this expecting any of the things that we got watching this movie. I wasn't necessarily disappointed, but I would have liked consistency, maybe. I don't fucking know. Jesus, this movie is all over the place.
You know, I'm glad you were able to do this, because there was a point I was gonna make, because this movie is kind of divisive with a lot of people. Like, you go in expecting something, you don't get it. I mean, I'm just saying, because there's a lot of people who either really like this movie, or they're just like, this movie was dumb and I didn't. It's not what you expected.
I can argue for either.
Right. but that's what I'm saying. Like, from your perspective, you haven't seen too many of those other ridiculous, like, I mean, really fucking ridiculous horror movies, you know, like I said, that take the characters and you know it's just bad. It's supposed to be bad. That's what it is, you know? As far as the horror movies are concerned, I mean, we've seen a lot of bad movies that are still pretty good, enjoyable to watch. But to me, when I went in thinking this movie was going to be fucking boring, another James Wan Gaga Fest, you know, shit fest movie. I was like, this is shit fest movie, but in a very enjoyable way for me. Like,
yes, in the spirit of shitfest itself.
Yeah, I was very happy watching this movie, and I left very satisfied.
I laughed at the ending.
Yeah.
When they just hug and it's over.
Yeah, and I will say that this movie is not predictable. I mean, this movie is very predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the plot and everything, like
it's not anything
you
new.
figure it out just watching it for a few minutes, because.
But again, from I guess the common not the people audience going in there not expecting this type of movie, or they're not too much into the horror genre.
Yeah.
Like you see that fucking creature out of her back and shit, like fucking doing all that shit. It might take people aback, you know, they're not ready for that shit, you know, but you and I, we've seen some ridiculous shit. So it's not anything new to us.
No, we saw that. We just laughed.
Yeah, we just laughed our ass off.
T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so dangerous.
And the one thing I did like is whenever the scene where they say, "Oh, it's time to cut out the cancer," and they fucking like start cutting him up, and they just push his fucking head back into her skull,
and then just fold it over and put a little tape or whatever.
You're like, oh, that wasn't gonna be a bad idea. Like,
it's
later
all right.
on, you know?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just give it a little tape. It'll be fine.
And mind you, like the only reason it's woken up is because the husband, who's also an asshole,
beats her,
like smashes her fucking head against the
I mean,
wall.
like instead of like calling the hospital for like a cracked skull and probably a fucking concussion from hell, she lets out the beast and
kills him.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
fucking,
She fucking snapped his neck.
mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, not snapped like assassin snapped. I mean, like she took his head and just went twerk and just fucking. Yeah, that I liked.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the kills are good. I enjoyed the kills a lot. The gore level was fun, I think.
I think it was kind of funny now, like thinking back about how the killer itself, like, or rather, the killer went about becoming a movie slasher. Like it got a coat and it got a weapon, and it was just like the most ridiculous shit ever or whatever. Like it's just some garbage fucking jacket, and then that award letter or award.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. What was it? For excellence in surgery.
Yeah. It was like a caduce or something. You know, the snake with the staff, and like he just turns around and sharpens that into a weapon. And it just looks so fucking silly.
Yeah. And they focused on that a lot when he's killing the doctor. You're like, oh, that's not going to be part of their weapons.
What is it? And like the killer the whole time is like, I need my stuff. Give me back my threads. Yeah. It was all so many bad jokes rolled into one movie that I mean, I can't help but not appreciate that. I guess I'd have to watch it again. I actually think I really might have to watch it again to see what kind of dumb shit that I can spot, because there is so much of it. So much of it.
So I'll give my rating.
Yep. What's your rating?
Walking out as happy, I'm gonna say 4 out of 5.
Oh, Jesus,
4.5 out of 5.
Jesus,
it's not a perfect.
It's not a perfect movie, Ray. No, it's not.
It's not a perfect movie. There's a lot of movies this year that I've been really satisfied with, being like Pig. I The Green Knight, which I think probably gets almost like a perfect score from me. Malignant was very fun, very entertaining, and other than it being like very predictable, because I mean, again, something you've seen plenty of times, that's why I give it like a half a point off, because if this took a different turn for me, like this probably would have been like a perfect horror movie. Again, it's because I like this genre, and the genre is just fun to me. So that's why I give it a 4.5 out of 5. But yeah.
Yeah, like don't go in there trying to watch this expecting some kind of like real serious horror or real serious suspense movie. Just go in there and
Let loose,
yeah,
man. Let loose.
just chill. I mean,
Yeah.
alcohol will make it funnier, if anything. Sure, it helps.
Alcohol will make it a lot funnier.
Pay attention to how silly the goddamn dialogue is. It's not in your head; it really is, and you'll enjoy it. You'll probably laugh at the stupid shit.
Yeah.
From the camera angles to the fucking lines that they use to like the actors themselves, it's all pretty amusing stuff.
I will agree with that.
In a bad sense, okay? It's amusing because it's really bad, okay?
All right, well, that'll be it for us then. Yeah, you're gonna say that. I say just let loose and enjoy the show, okay?
Right.
Don't take it fucking seriously at all.
Yeah.
Like, just don't. If you are too serious for this type of movie, well, get your head out of your ass. Whatever.
Don't go watch something else. Go watch Schindler's List or something, you boring bitch.
Go watch Pig. That's a serious movie. That's a very good movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very good movie. It's called that's art. Art. Right?
Art.
Capital A-R-T.
Yeah.
Arte.
Careful there. It's almost a 4-letter word.
Yeah. Almost. All right. That'll be it for us. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Did you see Malignant? What did you think? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Do you not give a shit about this movie at all? There's probably a lot of you on that last tier there. So, man, just tell us what's up. Leave a comment. Turn on notifications. All that jazz. We'll see you next time.
See ya.